In today's video, I've decided to put 3 of the greatest players in NBA history on the same team, and of course those 3 players are LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Kevin Durant. And I'm not sure how many more seasons we'll have with them before they decide to retire, so that means we're going to have to do everything in our power to win now and hopefully win them one last championship. The team we're going to be running with is the Golden State Warriors. Let me show you guys what the new 9-man rotation will be looking like with this new big 3. So the starting lineup is going to include Stephen Curry, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Al Horford. And then off the bench we have Brennan Pajemski, Quinton Post, Gary Payton II, and Will Richard. Let's go ahead and simulate the first week of this season and see how we do. The first game is up against LeBron James' former team, and we do end up defeating them by 9 points, where KD led the way in scoring, dropping 33 points, Stephen Curry with 31 points, and LeBron James with 22, 9, and 6. I'm excited to see how this team does, and we also beat the Denver Nuggets, and here LeBron James drops a 30-point triple-double, 30 points, 11 boards, 15 assists, and 4 steals. And Kevin Durant had himself 25 points, Stephen Curry 24, and Brennan Pajemski with 21. Can we also defeat the Portland Trail Blazers to go 3-0 to start off this season? And that's exactly what we do. Stephen Curry leads the way here, dropping 27 points, 24 from KD, and a 23-point double-double from LeBron James. We are going to be running on a 4.5-star overall system proficiency, perimeter-centric under Steve Kerr. I believe we're honestly going to be unstoppable, so I'm going to start simulating until the trade deadline. We probably will pull off some trades. I do want to upgrade this roster just a tiny bit, because again, we don't know how long this big 3 has before they retire, and I want to do everything in my power to win them at least one more championship. I'm stopped here at the trade deadline, and currently we have a win-loss record of 37 wins and 14 losses, making us the number 2 seed. I am planning on pulling off some trades here at this trade deadline, and I'll show you guys which trades those will be. The first trade I'm attempting to pull off is this trade here with the 76ers, where we acquire ourselves Quentin Grimes to be the brand new starting shooting guard. He's a really good 3-and-D player, he's a good catch and shoot player, so we're going to try and acquire him and bring him on our team, where we send the 76ers Jonathan Kuminga in return for Quentin Grimes, and they accept the trade. The next player I'm going to be targeting is Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz, who's one of the best rim protectors in the NBA, as well as a really good rebounder. So let's see if the Utah Jazz will accept this trade, where we send them Trace Jackson Davis and Melton. We're probably going to have to include some picks, but that is alright, and of course they do decline. But we do have ourselves a bunch of first-round picks, and 1 first-round pick gets it done. And just with those 2 trades alone, our team is already looking a lot better than it previously was. The new starting lineup will be Stephen Curry, Quentin Grimes, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Walker Kessler. And now I'll see you guys at the end of this season. We currently have a win-loss record of 37 wins and 14 losses. Let's see what that's looking like at the end of this season. I also forgot to show you guys, we now currently have ourselves a 5-star overall system proficiency, perimeter-centric, after we pulled off those trades. And ever since the trade deadline, we've only lost 2 games. 1 game we lost here to the LA Lakers, and the second game we lost to the Sacramento Kings in the last week of this season, which means we've been absolutely elite the second half of the season after the trades we just pulled off. We also end up winning the last game of the season, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP, Cooper Flagg Rookie of the Year, Isaiah Collier 6th Man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player, Ware wins Most Improved, LaMelo Ball wins Clutch Player of the Year, Steve Kerr Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we have ourselves any All-NBA selections, and we do get LeBron James on All-NBA 3rd team. Let's go. And I forgot to mention something. LeBron James was in the race to winning MVP. Even at age 41, I believe he was in the race at number 5, if I'm not mistaken. But will we have any other awards? And it looks like we won't, but that is alright, because we were the number 1 seed, winning a total of 66 wins and only 16 losses. As I said earlier, we only lost 2 games ever since the trade deadline, so the second half of the season we were absolutely elite. Before we start simulating the playoffs, let me show you guys the player stats for the regular season and how our big 3 did. So the leading scorer on our team was none other than Stephen Curry, averaging 23 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 50, 40, 95. We had Kevin Durant averaging 22 points per game, 5 boards, 4 assists, 1.5 blocks, shooting 50, 40, 80. LeBron James was absolutely amazing as a primary ball handler, averaging 20 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists per game, as well as 1 steal and 1 block, shooting 50, 40, 74. I do believe we could win ourselves a championship this playoffs. Let's see how things go. Getting Quentin Grimes on our team was also a really good get for us. He's been averaging 13 points per game, I believe ever since he's joined our team. So yeah, since the All-Star break, he's averaging 17 points per game, which is absolutely amazing. Quentin Post as a backup center is shooting 42% from the 3-point line, and he made how many 3-pointers? 129 3-pointers made. Pajemski as our 6th man has been really great as well, shooting 50, 45, and 74. In the first round of the playoffs, we're going to be taking on Kevin Durant's former team, the Phoenix Suns. They have themselves Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Brooks, Dunn, and Mark Williams. I don't think this team will be much of a challenge, but let's see if they are. Game number 1 does go to us, and LeBron James drops a 25-point double-double, Stephen Curry with 22, and Kevin Durant with 21. We also end up winning game 2 here. LeBron James drops another double-double, this time a 24-point double-double, Steph Curry with 22, and the same for KD. We're up 3-2 against Phoenix Suns, and we do end up sweeping them to advance to the second round. Steph Curry so far is averaging 21 points per game, KD's averaging 18 points per game, and LeBron James is averaging a 24-point double-double. And now in the second round of the playoffs, we're taking on Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. They also have De'Aaron Fox, Vassell, Johnson, and Sohan. They obviously have Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper coming off of their bench. So let's see how things go here. Game number 1 does go to us, and it's Curry with a 29-point double-double, 27 from KD, and LeBron James with a 25-point triple-double. Let's go. We do also win game 2, and it's LeBron James leading the way, dropping 31 points, 26 from KD and 16 from Curry. We win game 3, and we sweep the San Antonio Spurs to make it to the conference finals, where we're taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Steph Curry so far is averaging basically 24 points per game, KD's averaging 22 points per game, and LeBron James is averaging almost a 27-point double-double so far in the playoffs. Now we're taking on the Dallas Mavericks. They have themselves Kyrie Irving, Cooper Flag, and Anthony Davis, as well as the rest of these players. Can we defeat this team and make it to the NBA Finals? Fingers crossed that we do. Game number 1 does go to us, and it's Curry dropping 44 points, hitting 9 out of 11 3-pointers attempted. Whoa. So he made himself 9 3-pointers here in this first game of the conference finals, and LeBron James had a 35-point double-double. KD was 17. Game 2 also goes to us, and LeBron James drops a 31-point triple-double, KD with 28, and Curry with 18. Hopefully we can also win this next game and go up 3-0, and we do end up losing this game 3. AD dropped 31 points, Kyrie 22, and D'Lo with 22 as well. Curry had 27, LeBron James was 2 assists shy from a triple-double, and KD did struggle here, shooting only 4 of 12. Hopefully we win this next game, and we do end up losing this game. They hold us to 95 points, and we fall short by 5. LeBron James had 21, 16 from Curry, and 13 from KD. Also, if you guys are enjoying this rebuild so far, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds. So I was taking a look at our team to see how our players are doing, and majority of our team is playing awesome, except for GP2, who off the bench is playing horrible offense. And thankfully, just for this reason, in case of a reason where a player wasn't playing well in the regular season, I signed 2 free agents, and those 2 free agents are Malik Beasley and Ben Simmons. So what I'm going to do is take GP2 out of our 9-man rotation and insert Malik Beasley, who's an elite 3-point shooter and should be able to help out our team a ton on offense, even in those limited minutes. And after moving Malik Beasley's position from shooting guard to small forward, he goes up to an 80 overall, which is impressive. And luckily, I signed him on a 3-year contract, which means he'll remain on our team for the next 3 seasons. So I came up with a defensive coach game plan, also switched up our 9-man rotation, and now hopefully we can defeat this team. It does look like they're running Cooper Flag off of their bench unit for some reason, and they currently have Najee Marshall as their starting small forward. That should help us out a ton, but he is shooting the ball pretty efficiently, to be honest. But I'm not too worried about Najee Marshall. Let's jump into Simcast for game number 5, where we will have home court advantage, and we start off pretty strong here in the first quarter, but they do push back. It looks like they will end up defeating us here and go up 3-2. Curry had 23 points, LeBron had a 23-point double-double, Kessler had 20 points, but sadly we still fall short. Cooper Flag off of their bench dropped 28 points, which is probably the main reason they won. He only missed 2 shots from the field and 1 shot from the 3-point line. And now it's time for game number 6, win or go home. The New York Knicks are already awaiting either our team or the Mavericks in the NBA Finals. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5. Let's jump into Simcast. I did come up with a defensive coach game plan, also changed up some shot tendencies depending on how our players are playing. And the Mavericks will have home court advantage. Can we go out there and get this win? And so far the Mavericks do have the lead, and we do end up losing. And sadly, we will not be winning 3 of the greatest players in NBA championship these playoffs, but hopefully next playoffs we will be able to do that. And I will do everything in my power to build the best cast around these 3 legends. Now in the NBA Finals, it's the New York Knicks taking on the Mavericks, and the New York Knicks end up winning in 7 with Jalen Brunson winning Finals MVP. It really sucks we ended up losing to the Dallas Mavericks in 6. I truly believed that we would be defeating the Mavericks and going on to the NBA Finals and winning ourselves a championship, but that just told us that we need to upgrade this team around the big 3 and hopefully win a championship next season, because all 3 of these players played absolutely amazing. LeBron James in the playoffs was averaging 26.5 points per game, 7 boards, 10 assists, 23.5 from Curry, and 20 points, 20.5 from KD. So that means we just need to bring some better role players on this team, and I believe we should be a lot better next season. And thankfully LeBron James is not trying to retire, but for some reason Stephen Curry is trying to retire. And usually Curry doesn't retire for another 1 to 2 seasons of rebuilding. So this is kind of shocking that he's just trying to retire in this first season, and GP2 is trying to retire as well. But luckily we were able to overturn Curry's retirement. That means we will have him for 1 more season. And let me show you guys a little cheat code. So right now Ben Simmons is listed at the point guard position. He's a 78 overall, and watch his overall jump up while I change his position. To a shooting guard, he's an 80, small forward 82, power forward 81, and center 81. So we're going to obviously put him at the small forward position where he has the highest overall. And now we should be able to use him in some trades, and teams should be calling our phone. What I've decided we're going to do with the 30th overall pick, we're going to go ahead and draft a young player. That way we could trade this young player for a future first round pick that's valued at more than 1.5 stars. So we're going to go ahead and draft the highest overall player, which is Luke Farmer. I don't even know if this is the real player or not, but we are going to draft him and then trade him for a future first round pick. Team player options, of course, we're going to pick up the team option on Brennan Pajemski. I do believe he's going to progress a ton this offseason. He's only 23 years old, and bro was already shooting 50% from the field and 45% from the 3-point line. And we also will pick up the team option on Bronny James Jr. just because his father, LeBron James, is on our team. Qualifying offers, we do need to bring back 2 really big players on our team, which is Quentin Grimes and Walker Kessler. We will have bird rights on both of them, so that should not be a problem. Well, never mind, we only have bird rights on Walker Kessler and not on Quentin Grimes, even though we should have bird rights on Quentin Grimes as well. But luckily, Quentin Grimes is a restricted free agent, so whatever offer any team offers him, we can match that salary and bring him back on our team. So yeah, we're going to be getting both players back, but first I'm going to start off with a Walker Kessler contract. We're going to offer him about $15.5 million a year on a 4-year contract, which he will be accepting on a 4-year $69 million contract. So in free agency, we were able to sign ourselves Quentin Grimes. A different team was offering him a 3-year contract, so we're going to go ahead and match that offer. We're also going to sign Ayo Dosunmu, Walker Kessler, Chris Middleton, and Mitchell Robinson. And looking at our starting 5, I'm honestly happy with the way our starting lineup is looking in Stephen Curry, Quentin Grimes, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Walker Kessler. So what I'm planning on doing is going out there and getting ourselves some really good bench players. This past season, that was a problem we had. We didn't have much depth coming off of our bench, but this season, I'm definitely going to be changing that up. And the first trade we're going to be pulling off is sending the Washington Wizards Ben Simmons and Buddy Hield for Keyshawn George and Will Riley. Keyshawn George is a young 22-year-old player who's been playing amazing with the Washington Wizards. I believe in real life, bro's averaging close to 20 points per game. Plus, he's a really good defender as well. So let's go ahead and pull off this trade. And the next player I'm going to be targeting is Zach Edey from the Memphis Grizzlies to be our brand new backup center. Zach Edey does end up developing a 3-point shot in 2K simulation, plus he develops like crazy. So we're going to be offering the Grizzlies Mitchell Robinson and Q Santos for Zach Edey. And of course they decline, so let's throw in some first round picks and let's see if we can get this trade done. 2 first round picks, we end up getting ourselves Zach Edey. And the last trade of the season we're attempting to pull off is getting ourselves Jarris Walker from the Indiana Pacers, where we send them Will Riley and Ayo Dosunmu, and they do decline this trade, but what if we throw in a first round pick? And they're still going to be declining. 2 first round picks does end up getting it done though. Here we are at the start of this season with our brand new 9-man rotation. The starting lineup will include Stephen Curry, Quentin Grimes, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Walker Kessler. And then off the bench, we have Keyshawn George, Zach Edey, Brendan Pajemski, and Jarris Walker. And luckily for us, there was a lot of progression from our younger core. Even though our big 3 did regress a little bit, that is alright, because I do think we can still go out there and win ourselves a championship. Let's go ahead and simulate the first 2 weeks of this season and see how we do, and we do end up winning all 7 games. Currently we're the number 1 seed with 7 wins and 0 losses. And to start out this season, throughout the first 7 games, Stephen Curry is averaging 32 points per game, Kevin Durant's averaging 21.5 points per game, and LeBron James is also averaging 21.5 points per game. Let's see what the system proficiency is. So we have ourselves a 5-star overall system proficiency, perimeter centric under Steve Kerr. I truly believe this will be the season for us to win a championship. I think our big 3 can most definitely do it now that we got them the help that they needed. And so far to start out this season, we are the first seed with 12 wins and 0 losses. And another thing, LeBron James did try to retire. Sorry, not try to retire. He wanted a farewell tour, which means he's planning on retiring this next season. So this may be the only season we have left with this big 3 for us to win a championship. So again, we have to do everything in our power to make that goal happen. This season, we end up winning the NBA Cup, and Stephen Curry wins NBA Cup MVP, averaging 31 points per game. Let's see who we went up against. So we went up against the Detroit Pistons. We outscored them by 22 points, and LeBron James dropped 39 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Stephen Curry had himself 22 points, and KD had 16. We are stopped here at the trade deadline, and there's no way we're going to be pulling off any trades this season. We're currently the number 1 seed with 49 wins and 4 losses, and the Dallas Mavericks are actually playing really good this season as well. They have themselves 43 wins and 8 losses. But I'll see you guys at the end of this season, where of course we're going to be making the playoffs and hopefully win ourselves a championship. You guys are not going to believe what I'm about to show you. So we have 1 game remaining of this season, and I went to award races, and LeBron James is number 1 in the award races to winning MVP, and Steph Curry is number 3. So we may be seeing LeBron James win MVP at age 42, which would be absolutely insane. We already set a new record for most win-loss record for a regular team in the regular season. Now let's see if LeBron James can win an MVP. And Stephen Curry goes on to win an MVP, not LeBron James. Stephen Curry at age 39, averaging 27 points per game, shooting 50, 40, 90. And that was definitely unexpected. I did not think any player on our team would be winning an MVP, especially because of how old they are, but it looks like Stephen Curry goes on to win an MVP. I believe this would be his 3rd MVP, and yes it is, at age 39. That's insane that LeBron James at age 42 was in the race to winning MVP, and Curry at age 39 wins MVP. Both legends. Darren Peterson wins Rookie of the Year, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 6-man, Wemby, Defensive Player, Scoot wins Most Improved Player, yes that was, LaMelo Ball, Clutch Player of the Year, Steve Kerr, Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive of the Year. And of course, the MVP, Stephen Curry, makes it on All-NBA First Team, and we do get LeBron James once again on All-NBA Third Team. Nobody here on All Defensive Team, which is absolutely alright. We do end the season as a number 1 seed, of course, winning a total of 76 games and losing only 6, beating the previous record that was also held by the Golden State Warriors, where I believe they won 73 games in that regular season, or it may have been 72. But let me show you guys the player stats before we do start simulating the playoffs, and that is absolutely mind-blowing. I still can't get over the fact that Stephen Curry won an MVP, and that LeBron James was super close to winning another MVP at age 42. All 3 legends played an amazing season. The leading scorer was Stephen Curry, averaging 27 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. And then we had LeBron James averaging 21.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, shooting 55 from the field, 43% from the 3-point line. KD was averaging 20 points per game, 4 boards, 4 assists, 1.2 blocks, shooting 50, 40, 80, basically 40%. It's 39.397. And honestly, the rest of the team was amazing as well. We had ourselves a bunch of players in double-digit scoring, so the depth we have on our team now helped us out a ton. In the first round of the playoffs, we're taking on the Los Angeles Clippers, who got themselves Trae Young on their team. They still have Kawhi Leonard and Avia Zubac. And I fixed up the player minutes, so let's see if we could go ahead and defeat the Clippers here. Game number 1 does go to us, and it's the GOAT LeBron James leading the way with 25 points. Walker Kessler had a 22-point double-double, Curry with 19. We also win game 2, and it's Steph Curry, the MVP, dropping 42 points in 42 minutes. LeBron James with a 20-point double-double, and KD with 16. We also win game 3, and we go on to sweep the Clippers in game 4. And now in the second round, we're taking on the OKC Thunder. So far, the MVP is averaging 28 points per game, Kevin Durant's averaging 20 points per game, and LeBron James 21 points per game. But now we're taking on the OKC Thunder, who have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren. They are lacking in the center position, so hopefully we're able to take advantage of that. Game number 1 does go to us, and Curry leads the way with 24, KD 22, LeBron James with 16 assists. Let's go. We also win game 2, and it's LeBron James dropping 34 points here. We win game 3, and we sweep the OKC Thunder to make it to the conference finals, where we're taking on the OKC Thunder. So far, Curry's averaging 26.5 points, KD's averaging 22, LeBron James is averaging 22.5 points as well as 9 assists per game. Now the Houston Rockets were a play-in team, but they made it to the conference finals, and it looks like they have themselves Jimmy Butler. Since the Kevin Durant trade, I had to trade away Jimmy Butler to get KD on this team. So Jimmy Butler is in the conference finals looking for revenge. They also have Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. Game number 1 does go to us, and LeBron James with a 29-point triple-double, KD 25, and Curry with 20. Game number 2 also goes to us, and this time it's Kevin Durant leading the way, dropping 32 points, 26 from Curry, and a 26-point double-double from LeBron. Can we go up 3-0? Yes, we can, and we sweep the Houston Rockets to make it to the NBA Finals. And LeBron James wins Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging nearly a 23-point triple-double. LeBron James is insane. 42 years old, and bro's averaging a 23-point triple-double. Karl Anthony Towns wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP, which means we're taking on the New York Knicks. And here are the player stats for the conference finals. The big three was playing amazing. Stephen Curry was averaging 28 points per game, 23.5 points per game from KD, and a 23-point triple-double from LeBron James. Now we're taking on the Knicks here in the finals. Last season, they did win the NBA Finals, winning themselves a championship. They still have Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and it looks like they have Clark at the center position. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1 does go to us, and the MVP drops 36 points, and LeBron James with a 35-point triple-double, and KD with 32. Our big three played amazing, all three having 30 plus points in that game 1. We also win game 2, and it's Curry dropping 41 points, KD with 32. LeBron James did foul out here in only 25 minutes. Game 3, we also end up winning, putting us up 3-0. It's Curry leading the way, dropping 22 points, 19 from KD. LeBron James with 18, 9, and 9. Almost a triple-double. Now, are we going to sweep the New York Knicks? We do not sweep them. They beat us here by 1 point. Quentin Grimes dropped 31 points on his former team, but sadly that was not enough. And we also end up losing game 5 here. Hold up a second. They beat us here by 7 points. KD had 32. And how much did LeBron James have? LeBron had 17, 5, and 10. I decided to come up with a defensive coach game plan for this next game. Let's jump into Simcast. The New York Knicks will have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead. We start off pretty strong, and it looks like we will end up winning by 6 points. They almost came back there in the 4th quarter, but luckily we pull it off, and LeBron James led the way with 32 points, Keyshawn George 14. Curry did struggle offensively, so did KD, but that's alright because we had the king, LeBron James, to take over this game. Just like that, the Warriors have won a championship. We win LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Kevin Durant a championship, and Stephen Curry wins Finals MVP, averaging 27 points per game. And before I end off this video, let me show you guys the player stats for the playoffs. So we played a total of 18 games, and in those 18 games, the leading scorer was Stephen Curry, averaging 27 points per game. And no lie, Stephen Curry struggled big time from the three-point line. He was only shooting 34% from the three-point line, which is a pretty big surprise. And then we had Kevin Durant putting up 23 points per game. And another thing I forgot to mention is the Golden State Warriors are my favorite team, so I love doing this rebuild with having these 3 legends on the Warriors. But Kevin Durant was averaging 23 points per game on crazy good efficiency. We had the king LeBron James averaging 23 points per game, 7.5 boards, nearly 10 assists per game on crazy good efficiency. And then in the NBA Finals, where we played a total of 6 games, the leading scorer was Stephen Curry, averaging 27 points per game, as well as 7 assists. And then we had Kevin Durant with 24 points per game, basically 1.5 block, 1.5 steal. LeBron James averaging 23, 7, and 8, as well as nearly 2 blocks per game, and 18 from Quentin Grimes. That's going to be it for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed this rebuild of me putting 3 of the greatest players in NBA history on the same team to win them one last championship. Please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more NBA 2K26 videos, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.